Chapter 1 Discordances of Judaism. The various interpretations of the Torah and divergences among Jewish denominations. Ethical and moral questions raised by certain biblical narratives. Apparent contradictions between the vision of a single benevolent God and human suffering. Judaism, one of the oldest monotheistic religions, is characterized by its rich history, sacred texts, and diverse theological interpretations. In this chapter, we will explore the discordances within Judaism, examining the following aspects. 1. The different interpretations of the Torah and divergences among Jewish denominations. The Torah, the central text of Judaism, serves as the foundation of Jewish belief and practice. However, there are various interpretations of the Torah's teachings, leading to divergences among different Jewish denominations. These denominational differences can range from approaches to ritual observance, the role of women, attitudes towards modernity, and the relationship between faith and reason. The discordances between these interpretations have contributed to the formation of distinct Jewish movements and theological perspectives. 2. Ethical and moral questions raised by certain biblical narratives. The Hebrew Bible, known as the Tanakh, contains narratives that raise complex ethical and moral questions. Some biblical stories depict events and actions that may appear morally troubling or contradictory to contemporary values. For example, the accounts of violence, warfare, or instances of divine punishment can challenge modern ethical sensibilities. These discordances give rise to debates and reflections within Jewish communities, exploring the implications of these narratives and their relevance to contemporary ethics. 3. Apparent contradictions between the vision of a single benevolent God and human suffering. Judaism affirms the belief in a single benevolent God who is just and compassionate. However, the existence of human suffering, both on an individual and collective level, poses a philosophical and theological challenge. The presence of suffering, particularly in the context of a loving and all-powerful deity, raises questions about the nature of God, the problem of evil, and the relationship between divine will and human free will. These discordances have spurred diverse theological discussions and attempts to reconcile the concept of a benevolent God with the reality of human suffering. As we explore the discordances within Judaism, it is important to emphasize that these divergences are reflective of the dynamic nature of the religion. Jewish God and practice have evolved over centuries, responding to historical and cultural changes as well as engaging in dialogue with other intellectual and religious traditions. The discordances within Judaism are not signs of weakness or shortcomings, but rather manifestations of the ongoing process of interpretation and adaptation within the Jewish community. Ultimately, these discordances within Judaism invite introspection, dialogue, and the exploration of diverse perspectives. They demonstrate the intellectual vitality and resilience of the Jewish tradition, encouraging individuals to grapple with theological, ethical, and philosophical questions while seeking a deeper understanding of their faith. By engaging in conversations surrounding these discordances, Jews can continue to enrich their understanding of Judaism and forge a vibrant, evolving religious tradition. Chapter 2 Discordances of Buddhism. Variations among different Buddhist schools and their interpretations of Buddhist teachings. Disagreements on concepts such as karma, reincarnation, and nirvana. Tensions between individual spiritual quest and social engagement. Buddhism, an ancient spiritual tradition originating in India, encompasses a rich tapestry of teachings and practices. In this chapter, we will delve into the discordances within Buddhism, exploring the following aspects. 1. Variations among different Buddhist schools and their interpretations of Buddhist teachings. Buddhism has given rise to numerous schools and traditions, each with its own unique interpretation of the teachings of the Buddha. These variations can be seen in different regions and cultures, leading to diverse practices and philosophical perspectives. Discordances arise from differences in understanding key concepts such as the nature of enlightenment, the path to liberation, and the role of meditation. The multiplicity of interpretations highlights the richness and adaptability of Buddhism as it spread across different societies. 2. Disagreements on concepts such as karma, reincarnation, and nirvana. Buddhism introduces concepts such as karma, the law of cause and effect, reincarnation, and nirvana, the ultimate goal of liberation. However, there are differing interpretations and understandings of these concepts among Buddhist practitioners and scholars. Discordances emerge in discussions surrounding the precise workings of karma, the nature of rebirth, and the experience and attainment of nirvana. These divergent viewpoints reflect the complexities of comprehending and applying these profound teachings. 3. Tensions between individual spiritual quest and social engagement. Buddhism teaches both the importance of personal spiritual development and the cultivation of compassion for all sentient beings. However, there can be discordances regarding the balance between individual spiritual practices and social engagement. Some interpretations emphasize personal meditation and introspection as the primary focus, while others emphasize active engagement in social and humanitarian causes. These tensions raise questions about the role of Buddhism in addressing societal issues and the application of spiritual teachings in a complex world. It is crucial to recognize that the discordances within Buddhism are not indicative of inherent flaws but rather a reflection of the diverse perspectives and interpretations that have arisen throughout its long history. Buddhism has adapted to different cultural contexts and absorbed influences from various regions, resulting in variations in practices, beliefs, and philosophical approaches. These discordances within Buddhism offer opportunities for dialogue, critical reflection, and the cultivation of deeper understanding. They encourage practitioners to explore different interpretations, engage in respectful debates, and seek common ground while honoring the multiplicity of Buddhist perspectives. The varied viewpoints enrich the overall understanding of Buddhism and contribute to its ongoing evolution. In conclusion, the discordances within Buddhism reveal the dynamic nature of this ancient tradition. As Buddhism spread across different regions and encountered diverse cultural influences, variations in interpretation and practice emerged. Rather than being sources of division, these discordances invite practitioners to engage in open dialogue, embrace diversity, and deepen their understanding of the profound teachings of the Buddha. Chapter 3: Discordances of Christianity. Theological divisions among different branches of Christianity. Contradictions between the teachings of Jesus and the practices and behaviors of Christians. Inconsistencies between the concept of an all-powerful God and the presence of evil and suffering. Christianity, one of the world's largest religions, encompasses a diverse range of beliefs, practices, and denominations. In this chapter, we will explore the discordances within Christianity, examining the following aspects. 1. Theological divisions among different branches of Christianity. Christianity is characterized by theological diversity, resulting in numerous branches, denominations, and theological perspectives. Discordances arise from varying interpretations of scripture, traditions, and doctrinal differences. These divisions can encompass theological issues such as the nature of salvation, the sacraments, the role of authority, and the understanding of key concepts like grace and redemption. 2. Contradictions between the teachings of Jesus and the practices and behaviors of Christians. Christianity centers on the teachings and life of Jesus Christ. However, discordances can arise when the actions and practices of Christians diverge from the teachings of Jesus. Ethical dilemmas, moral controversies, and inconsistencies between professed beliefs and actual behavior may challenge the integrity of Christian teachings. These discordances call for critical reflection and ongoing efforts to align Christian practices with the ideals espoused by Jesus. 3. Inconsistencies between the concept of an all-powerful God and the presence of evil and suffering. Christianity affirms the existence of a loving and all-powerful God, yet the reality of evil and human suffering poses philosophical and theological challenges. Theodicy, the question of why a benevolent God allows evil, raises discordances within Christianity. Various theological perspectives have emerged seeking to reconcile the existence of suffering with the belief in a loving God. These discordances reflect the ongoing theological inquiry and reflection within the Christian faith. It is important to recognize that the discordances within Christianity are a natural consequence of the religion's long and complex history. As Christianity spread across diverse cultures and encountered different intellectual and philosophical currents, variations in interpretation and practice emerged. These discordances do not undermine the essence of Christianity but rather demonstrate the dynamic nature of the faith and the ongoing engagement with its teachings. The discordances within Christianity present opportunities for dialogue, theological reflection, and spiritual growth. They challenge believers to explore different perspectives, engage in respectful discussions, and seek a deeper understanding of their faith. Rather than being sources of division, these discordances invite Christians to engage in a continuous process of self-examination, reform, and the pursuit of a more authentic and faithful expression of their beliefs. In conclusion, the discordances within Christianity reflect the diversity and complexity of this global religion. They arise from theological differences, the gap between professed beliefs and actions, and the profound question of reconciling the existence of evil and suffering with the belief in a benevolent God. These discordances are an integral part of the Christian tradition, prompting believers to engage in ongoing reflection, dialogue, and the pursuit of a more inclusive and compassionate expression of their faith. Chapter 4: Discordances of Islam. Divergences among different schools of jurisprudence and their interpretations of the Quran. Gender issues and women's rights in Islam. Tensions between Islamic principles and modern values and practices. Islam, one of the world's major religions, encompasses a diverse range of beliefs, practices, and interpretations. In this chapter, we will explore the discordances within Islam, examining the following aspects. 1. Divergences among different schools of jurisprudence and their interpretations of the Quran. Islam comprises various schools of jurisprudence, each with its own methodologies and interpretations of Islamic law and the Quran. Discordances arise from differences in legal opinions, ritual practices, and social norms. These variations can include interpretations of issues such as prayer, fasting, inheritance, and the role of women. The divergent perspectives within Islamic jurisprudence reflect the dynamic nature of Islamic thought and the complexities of applying religious principles to diverse contexts. 2. Gender issues and women's rights in Islam. Discordances within Islam exist concerning gender roles, women's rights, and interpretations of Quranic verses related to women. Different interpretations and cultural practices have resulted in varying levels of gender equality within Muslim-majority societies. The debates encompass topics such as veiling, marriage, divorce, inheritance, and women's participation in religious leadership. These discordances highlight the ongoing discussions and efforts within Islamic communities to address gender-related challenges and promote more inclusive and equitable interpretations. 3. Tensions between Islamic principles and modern values and practices. Islam, like other religions, encounters tensions when traditional religious principles intersect with modern values and practices. Discordances can arise in areas such as democracy, human rights, freedom of expression, LGBTQ+ rights, and bioethics. Different interpretations within the Islamic framework contribute to a wide spectrum of perspectives, ranging from conservative to progressive. These tensions reflect the ongoing dialogue between Islamic teachings and the evolving global context. It is essential to recognize that the discordances within Islam are not unique to this religion but rather reflect the diverse interpretations and practices within any religious tradition. The variations within Islamic thought and practice are a testament to the richness and adaptability of Islam, as it has developed over centuries and interacted with different cultural contexts. The discordances within Islam present opportunities for dialogue, critical reflection, and the pursuit of a more nuanced understanding of the faith. They challenge Muslims to engage in respectful discussions, draw upon diverse perspectives, and seek a balance between the principles of their faith and the realities of the contemporary world. These discordances are an intrinsic part of the Islamic tradition, prompting believers to navigate the complexities of faith in an ever-changing world. In conclusion, the discordances within Islam reflect the diverse interpretations, practices, and cultural contexts within the Muslim community. They arise from differences in legal interpretations, gender issues, and tensions between Islamic principles and modern values. Rather than being sources of division, these discordances invite Muslims to engage in ongoing reflection, dialogue, and the pursuit of a more inclusive and dynamic understanding of their faith rooted in its rich traditions and open to the challenges and possibilities of the present age. Chapter 5: Discordances of Hinduism. Different conceptions of divinity and the multiplicity of gods and goddesses. Conflicts between castes and social inequalities in India. Contradictions among the concepts of karma, liberation, moksha, and devotion bhakti. Hinduism, one of the oldest religions in the world, encompasses a diverse array of beliefs, practices, and philosophical perspectives. In this chapter, we will explore the discordances within Hinduism, examining the following aspects. 1. Different conceptions of divinity and the multiplicity of gods and goddesses. Hinduism is renowned for its belief in the multiplicity of gods and goddesses, with each deity representing various aspects of the divine. Discordances arise from the diverse conceptions of divinity and the varying degrees of emphasis placed on different deities. Some Hindus focus on the worship of a particular deity, while others view the many deities as different manifestations of the ultimate reality. These divergent perspectives contribute to the rich tapestry of Hindu beliefs and practices. 2. Conflicts between castes and social inequalities in India. One of the challenges within Hinduism is the historical social system known as the caste system. Discordances arise from the inherent social inequalities and divisions it has perpetuated. The caste system has created disparities in opportunities, privileges, and social status. While efforts have been made to address these inequities, tensions persist between the ideal of social equality and the reality of social stratification. These discordances highlight the ongoing struggle for social justice within Hindu society. 3. Contradictions between the concepts of karma, liberation, moksha, and devotion bhakti. Hinduism embraces concepts such as karma, the law of cause and effect, moksha, liberation from the cycle of birth and death, and bhakti, devotion to a personal deity. Discordances arise from the different interpretations and emphasis placed on these concepts. Questions emerge regarding the relationship between individual actions, the attainment of liberation, and the role of devotion in the spiritual journey. These discordances reflect the diversity of Hindu thought and the range of paths available to seekers of truth. It is important to understand that the discordances within Hinduism are not indications of weakness or fragmentation, but rather manifestations of the religion's inclusivity and adaptability. Hinduism has absorbed and incorporated diverse regional traditions, philosophical perspectives, and cultural practices, resulting in a complex and multifaceted religious tradition. The discordances within Hinduism invite introspection, dialogue, and the exploration of different viewpoints. They foster a spirit of inquiry, allowing individuals to navigate the diverse interpretations and philosophical perspectives within the religion. These discordances challenge Hindus to engage in critical reflection, seek common ground, and contribute to the ongoing evolution of Hindu thought and practice. In conclusion, the discordances within Hinduism reflect the diverse conceptions of divinity, the complexities of social dynamics, and the philosophical variations within the tradition. They arise from differing interpretations of divine manifestations, the challenges posed by social inequalities, and the exploration of concepts like karma, moksha, and bhakti. These discordances encourage Hindus to embrace dialogue, deepen their understanding of their faith, and contribute to the ongoing discourse within Hindu society. Chapter 6: The Mythological Origins of Discordances. Comparative analysis of the myths and legends underlying the studied religions. Influence of mythological narratives on religious beliefs and practices. The question of the historical truth of religious narratives and their symbolic function. Religions often draw upon a rich tapestry of mythological narratives and legends to explain the nature of the divine, human existence, and the purpose of life. In this chapter, we will explore the mythological origins of the discordances within the religion studied, examining the following aspects. 1. A comparative analysis of the myths and legends underlying the studied religions. By comparing the myths and legends present in Judaism, Buddhism, Christianity, Islam, and Hinduism, we can uncover common themes, archetypes, and symbolic motifs. This analysis will shed light on the potential connections between these religions and their mythological origins. We will explore the narratives of creation, the struggles between good and evil, the journeys of prophets and sages, and the notions of transcendence and liberation present in these mythologies. 2. Influence of mythological narratives on religious beliefs and practices. Mythological narratives have a profound influence on religious beliefs, rituals, and practices. They provide a narrative framework for understanding the divine and human existence, offering guidance on moral and ethical principles. By examining the influence of these mythological narratives, we can better understand the origins of certain religious doctrines, symbols, rituals, and festivals within the studied religions. We will explore how mythological narratives shape theological concepts, social norms, and the expression of faith. 3. The question of the historical truth of religious narratives and their symbolic function. Religious narratives often encompass elements of historical events, cultural traditions, and symbolic meanings. The discordances within the studied religions raise questions regarding the historical accuracy of these narratives and their intended purpose. We will explore how religious traditions navigate the tension between the literal interpretation of sacred texts and their symbolic, allegorical, or metaphorical significance. This examination will offer insights into the functions of mythological narratives as vehicles for spiritual and moral teachings rather than strictly historical accounts. By delving into the mythological origins of the discordances within the studied religions, we gain a deeper appreciation for the multifaceted nature of religious belief and practice. The mythological narratives not only serve as a foundation for religious doctrines but also inspire devotion, provide moral guidance, and offer a sense of collective identity to the followers of these religions. It is important to approach the analysis of mythological origins with an understanding that myths are not meant to be understood as literal historical accounts. Rather, they provide symbolic and metaphorical frameworks through which complex spiritual truths are expressed. Recognizing the symbolic function of these narratives allows for a more nuanced interpretation of the discordances within the studied religions. In conclusion, the mythological origins of the discordances within the studied religions provide valuable insights into the complexities of religious belief and practice. By examining the comparative mythologies, understanding the influence of these narratives on religious traditions, and grappling with the question of historical truth versus symbolic function, we deepen our understanding of these religions and the diverse interpretations that emerge from their mythological origins. Conclusion. In conclusion, this book delves into the discordances within Judaism, Buddhism, Christianity, Islam, and Hinduism, examining their theological disagreements, ethical dilemmas, and inconsistencies. It also explores the mythological origins of these discordances, recognizing the influence of mythological narratives on religious beliefs and practices. By navigating these complexities, we gain a deeper understanding of these religions and foster respectful dialogue among followers of different faiths. In this book, we have embarked on a journey to explore the discordances within Judaism, Buddhism, Christianity, Islam, and Hinduism. We have delved into theological disagreements, ethical dilemmas, philosophical tensions, and cultural variations that exist within these religions. By examining these discordances, we have gained insights into the complexities and richness of religious traditions. Throughout our exploration, we have recognized that discordances within religions are not signs of weakness or invalidity. On the contrary, they are indications of the dynamic nature of religious belief and practice. Religions are living traditions that have evolved over time, responding to cultural shifts, intellectual inquiries, and societal changes. The discordances within religions reflect the diverse interpretations, regional influences, historical developments, and ongoing dialogues that shape these traditions. It is important to approach discordances within religions with an attitude of openness, respect, and a willingness to engage in meaningful dialogue. These discordances invite us to explore different perspectives, challenge preconceived notions, and deepen our understanding of the complexities inherent in religious traditions. By embracing diversity and engaging in respectful conversations, we foster an environment where individuals from various religious backgrounds can learn from one another and build bridges of understanding. Furthermore, our exploration has revealed the significant influence of mythological narratives on religious beliefs and practices. Mythology serves as a source of inspiration, moral guidance, and cultural identity within religions. While the historical accuracy of these narratives may be subject to debate, their symbolic and metaphorical significance cannot be overlooked. Mythological narratives provide a framework through which religious truths, values, and teachings are conveyed, transcending mere historical fact. In concluding our journey, we are reminded of the importance of recognizing the shared aspirations that unite humanity. Despite the discordances within religions, there are common threads of compassion, love, justice, and the search for transcendence that run through these traditions. It is through acknowledging and embracing these shared values that we can foster understanding, promote interfaith dialogue, and build bridges of harmony in our diverse global society. May this book serve as a catalyst for respectful conversations, deepening understanding, and fostering a spirit of empathy and unity. As we navigate the discordances within religions, let us remember that our shared humanity and our collective quest for meaning and connection transcend the boundaries of religious labels. Together, let us strive for a world where diverse religious traditions coexist in harmony, enriching our lives and contributing to the greater good of all.